If you're talking about feel good days, this for Arsenal has got to be right up there in terms of just pure good vibes. Now, maybe one spoiler with the Bukayo Saka injury, which we're going to get into. But if you're talking about vibes, Arsenal had it all today. You're talking about 5-0. Your new number 9 gets a brace. Hayland were all up on the pitch. The Eze announcement. Not only the unveiling, the announcement video with Ian Wright. We're going to speak about that as well. And then also a 15-year-old debutant. I mean, listen, it doesn't get much better than that. That is an absolutely great day for Arsenal. And listen, Man United Fulham tomorrow. I want some vibes too. Yo, Sesko, what you got for me? Mbumo, Cunha, I need someone to get off the mark. Because them type of vibes, I need some of that. You know what I mean? If that is what vibes is, I need some of that. Because that was a good routine win for me for Arsenal. Listen, I can show it on my... I hope I can show it on my WhatsApp chat, but I said 4-0 Leeds. I mean, Arsenal against Leeds. You know what I mean? And in the end, GYOKERES goes and spoils it with his penalty. But I expected Arsenal to win that game pretty comfortably. 5:30 kickoff at the Emirates against Leeds after beating Manchester United. You expect it to be routine. Now, credit to Leeds, because in the beginning, Leeds were actually staying in the game. They were staying in the game. They didn't offer anything going forward. And I think sometimes maybe we put too much stock on teams staying in the game. If you're not doing anything, at least on the counter or in transition, is there really much that we should be giving you just for staying in the game? And that's what Leeds were doing. But at the end of the day, Arsenal's quality shines. Now, listen, we're going to have to talk about these corners. These corners from Declan Rice, it's getting ridiculous now. Honestly, people, right? But I'm being dead serious. I don't think I've seen David Beckham, of course, but I can't really remember. Like, I know Beckham's deliveries are unbelievable, but I can't really remember the frequency of, because of just the time I was watching football, the frequency of the quality of delivery. Every single Declan Rice corner is nearly a goal, or it is a goal. He probably, for somebody that I've watched week in, week out, I think he probably the best corner taker I've ever seen. This is ridiculous. Even the other goal. Another bomb into the box. I seen it in the flesh. I've done seeing it. I went to the Emirates and witnessed it. Go back. I said I saw witchcraft. The crosses are basically goals. I'm telling you guys, Declan Rice is going to score from a corner one day. Directly. Because the deliveries are too good. They're too consistent. That's what I want to say. The consistency of his deliveries. I don't think I've seen anything like that from corners. Ever. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is what Arsenal do. Yes, a lot of people are going to say set piece FC. Okay, it is crazy how many set pieces they score. But Arsenal often, when they get that set piece goal and then your team have to now come out and play, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you, and that's what they did to Leeds. As soon as they got the first goal, you just knew the floodgates going to open. Bukayo Saka goes and scores a trademark finish. I think that is becoming his trademark. Right foot, roof of the net. Right foot, roof of the net. Or even left foot, roof of the net. As soon as he gets down that side, he doesn't care about squaring it or nothing. He's putting it in the roof. I remember Aguero used to do this. Van Persie used to do it as well. Put that ball in the roof of the net, man. And honestly, that has become a trademark for him. When you see it now, you're like, oh, that's the Bukayo Saka finish. Not to the level of like Thierry Henry's opening up the ball and sliding it bottom corner, but now you're like, that's the Bukayo Saka finish. You know what I mean? It's the Bukayo Saka finish, but credit to Declan Rice again, the way he won the ball after Waneri lost it. That type of physical presence is so key, and Zubamendi is going to be able to ease into the Premier League because you have someone like Rice next to him. Because you have someone like him next to him that's going to clean up, cover space, also get on the ball, have personality. Bro, it's nice for them. Madueke didn't have the greatest game. GYOKERES, he got his goals. There was moments where he still looks like he's putting the pieces together. And I'm seeing a lot of people online call him fat. Now, I don't necessarily think he's fat. It's not fat. Like, I say that he's got that kind of like bodybuilder's body. Where it's like, bro, I can tell this guy can probably lift mad weights, but I would say it's probably not as like, how can I say, like athletically as like a football, the way you think about a footballer's build, it's maybe not like that. It's more of like a bodybuilder's build. But when people are saying he's fat, he needs to lose weight. I don't think he needs to lose weight or he's fat. It's just, that's just his build. And that's how he's going to play. And that's how he's going to be. I don't think he's very unfit or when he gets into shape. He is in shape. I mean, if he takes off his body right now and flexes, he's going to look, you're going to see all the muscle. You're going to see all the definition. It's not like he's some fat guy. You know what I mean? So when I'm seeing people talk about his body, I'm like, I don't think they're actually analyzing that right. I think when you look at him, he's muscular, but, you know, he's got that wide build. He's got that wide build, like a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? You look at someone like Sesko, for example, who's just like a lean, peak athlete. No, it's different. You know what I mean? Look at someone like Zlatan, for example, or whatever. Haaland, they're like lean, peak athletes. But I think Gyökeres has just a bit of a different build. And maybe you could say the same was for Romelu Lukaku. He had a little bit of a different build. He had a bodybuilder's build. But Lukaku was a genetic freak because how he was able to run at that speed while being that build was incredible. Do you know what I mean? And is incredible, should I say. But back to our saying, listen, the feel-good vibes for Arsenal now. The big concern is the Bukayo Saka injury, because I'm not going to lie. Also, obviously, Martin Odegaard went down as well, but Odegaard's felt a little bit more of precaution. Bukayo Saka looked devastated. You could see him, he looked up in the eye. I don't know if he said, oh my God. He didn't know if he should hold his head. He didn't know what to do. That could be a massive, massive, massive injury for Arsenal, because we saw what happened last season. You felt like they needed a Bukayo Saka back. And for them to finally have him back this season, I said in the last game, physically, he didn't look great. And I haven't seen Bukayo Saka really be able to sprint in quite a while. And I'm getting kind of concerned. I've seen Michael Owen. Listen to this Michael Owen quote, right? My boy sent it to me in my group chat. Just one second. Just one second. Let me get this up. It's Michael Owen basically talking about his hamstring injury when he got a hamstring. And I'm just hoping this isn't the fate for Bukayo Saka. He said, once I did it once, I was gone really. I was quick, running into channels, beating people. That's who I was compared to the last 6 or so years when I turned into the only thing I could. I was petrified of running into a channel. I just knew I was going to tear a muscle. The worst thing about it is your instinct is to do what you have done your whole life. But then you start thinking, no, oh, don't. And basically saying that he never returned to his best level. He was scared to spring and scared to run. And that's how I'm looking at Saka. And I'm hoping, I don't know if it was a different leg, but it doesn't matter. Hamstring is a hamstring. I'm hoping it's not a massive tear or anything. Because, listen, I like Bukayo Saka. Plays for England as well. I don't want anything to happen. God-fearing guy. I don't want anything to happen to him on a long-term injury where it affects his career, especially for the trajectory that he's been going on. So that is a little damper on today. He just has to hope, and we just have to hope Saka can really recover. I think he needs real recovery time. I think he rushed back a little bit last season. He's played so many games. He needs real recovery time. That is a concern. That is definitely a concern when you look at what Arsenal want to do. Bukayo Saka being injured is a massive, massive issue. Massive issue. And he looked upset, man. He looked like he wanted to cry, honestly. Looked like he wanted to cry. But back to what I was saying, the feel-good vibes. Miles Lewis-Skelly came on the pitch. Ethan Nwaneri was on the pitch. And then Max Dowman was on the pitch. Now, I'm not even going to go too much about him. We've seen me speak about him before. I saw him in a Man United versus Arsenal Youth Cup, and I was like, this is probably the best academy player that I've seen with my own eyes, right? Ridiculous talent. You saw him come onto the pitch, take people on effortlessly. You don't look at his body, you don't think to yourself, oh, wow, he's just going to breeze past people. He just walks past people. He's upright. He's got special talent, man. Special talent. And he goes and wins the penalty as well. Gets a few shot-offs. Maybe he was a bit anxious, snatched at them, but then wins the penalty. Gyökeres puts it away, and Gyökeres has a brace. 2 goals. It is what it is. Now he's off the mark, and now Arsenal are going to hope. You got Liverpool next. They got to hope that he kicks on from there. But Max Dowman, what a special moment. The second youngest player to ever play in the Premier League. Number 1 was Ethan Nwaneri. So what a day it was for Haylen. And not only that, you think about Eze, you think about Saka scoring, you think about Eze coming onto the pitch, Haylen, as they say. 5 years at Haylen, he comes on. You look at Ethan, you look at Max, you look at Miles. Just a brilliant day for them all round. But talking about that Eze announcement, it does feel like a little bit like 1 in, 1 out, because Odegaard goes down, Saka goes down, And then Arsenal bring in Eze, and it does feel like one in, one out. But you look at Eze's announcement. First and foremost, what I want to say is, I think we need to make a petition. We need to make a petition as a people to get Ian Wright a statue outside the Emirates. It's time to get Ian Wright a statue outside the Emirates. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I can see what this guy has done for that football club. The guy is the second all-time scorer. At one point, he was holding that until Thierry Henry broke it years and years later. Henry has one. Dennis Bergkamp has one. Now, I know Dennis Bergkamp was a catalyst for greatness. Maybe you can liken him to a Cantona at Manchester United. But Ian Wright, not only for what he's done on the pitch, what he's done off the pitch for Arsenal. Anytime they need an ad, Ian Wright. Anytime you need merch sold, Ian Wright. Anytime you need an announcement video, Ian Wright. When you talk about somebody that's connected to the club and everyone looks up to him, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Nwaneri, Bukayo Saka, all these guys, we look up to Ian Wright. That is his influence. I just seen a post, Thierry Henry posted him and Ian Wright and just said, you know, it wouldn't have been able without you. The influence. We have to reward that influence. When I think of Arsenal, I think of Thierry Henry. I think of Dennis Bergkamp. I think of Tony Adams. And I think of Ian Wright. And those three names that I just said have a statue outside the club. Ian Wright deserves a statue outside Arsenal. I don't care what no one says. And I want to start a petition for Ian Wright to have a statue outside the Emirates. What a contribution he's given to this football. Let it all work out. I was like, yo, I started welling up a little bit. I was like, yo, Ian, man, you got away with words. Yo, Eze, like, yo, you know, making me a bit emotional. Honestly, man. I think he deserves it. I personally think he deserves it. I know he's humble. He'll say he's not as good as Henry. He's not as good as Dennis Bergkamp. But for the contribution, for keeping Arsenal also relevant, for someone that supports Arsenal loudly in the media, like, bro, get him a statue. But anyway, Arsenal 5-0 Leeds. And lastly, what I just want to say as well is Arsenal didn't test it too much. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it till next week. If what I think is going to happen next week, I'll leave it to next week and speak about a certain player. But overall, man, Arsenal 5-0 win. 2 wins in a row now. As much as everyone feel like it was a loss against Man United, they still won the game. 2 wins in a row. 2 clean sheets. Arsenal are on the road. 5-0 against Leeds. I'm about to go live for Barcelona versus Levante watch along. You lot tap into that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on. I did a Spurs reaction as well. Go and tap in. This is consistent cams, man. This is what we're saying. Consistency. It's your boy CultureCams. I'm out. Peace.